So in today's video, we're going to be talking about something really, really cool. And it's something that I hear my entrepreneurs that I teach and facilitate for complain about all the time. And that is, I don't have time to read. Are you kidding me right now? Reading is like everything. And I think the reason why a lot of people don't have time to read is because they haven't figured out how to turn that reading time into revenue. Now, y'all hear me all the time talking about what are you doing right now? Right? People that I facilitate for and I'm a coach that I coach with, I'll tell them in a minute. I'm going to send a pigeon to your window. It's going to tap on your window. It's going to have a note on its foot and it's going to say, is what you're doing right now a income producing activity? IPA, income producing activity. Now, when we talk about reading, we are going to show you here. I'm going to show you here in a minute how we're going to turn that time that you think is just dead time or it's just time that I don't have, all that kind of stuff. We're going to show you some tips and some tricks and some techniques on how to turn that reading time into revenue. All right, y'all with me? All right, so here it is. I'm going to share my screen for a minute here, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I'm doing right now that speaks to how you literally can turn reading time into revenue. Here it is. All right, let me go ahead and show you this screen right here. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, now what you're going to be seeing coming up. Let's see what we got here. Inspiration. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to show you this one right here, and this is this one right here is so much fun. When I was producing it, I had a lot to say about this. Now, watch this. Hopefully, everybody can see that. So here it is. I actually was doing a video. And in this particular video, I was talking about how we're literally going to turn this particular book right here that I'm talking about. Hopefully, you can hear this. I don't know if I turned that on. Talking about this particular video and how then this video inspired me to think about some things in a particular way. Now, this is an old book. This was written a long time ago. And inside Drucker's brain, the guy literally was talking about how he took a bunch of, Peter Drucker's writings and all that kind of stuff, and he created this kind of a summary. This was before, AI and all that kind of stuff, right? So I created this video that talks about the inspiration, and I pulled out particular parts from the book itself. Right now, this one is probably already out. I might have it on my YouTube channel, but it's already done. I think I may have created I think it was a free tutorial on it. Anyway, so here's what I did next. Now, this is how we take something like this. We read, we got inspired. Now we're going to do something with a little AI that goes a little bit deeper. Watch this. All right, so here's what I did. One of the AIs I use is called Merlin, right? Merlin is so powerful because it lets me do a couple of things. It lets me use Claude 3.5. It lets me use different AIs based on what I'm trying to do. I love it because it allows me to now take this particular kind of concept and turn it into something magnificent. Now, if it was ChatGPT, some of the information that you get from ChatGPT is kind of flat, and DeepSeek is just crushing it. And Quinn's coming out. Oh my gosh, it's just going to be a big deal. But here's what I was able to do using this particular tool. Now, remember, we've got a video right here. So we did the video already, probably going to give that away or put it on YouTube or something like that. Now we take the video and we bring it back in. And in this case, I use another app that I have. This is not an AI app, but it's an app that I use. And then I was able to get some other pieces of information out of it, right? Create a video. And then from that, it creates more stuff for us. I'll show you here in a second. But then what I did is I plugged it in to this particular AI. And I says, okay, AI, do some extra stuff for me. Watch this. All right. So if you notice here, what I did is first thing I tried to get sneaky and I tried to say, hey, can you read this video? I was like, I can't read that. Get out of here. Right. But I tried. Right. So anyway, what I did is I went in and I says, well, okay, I understand that you can't read it, but based on the summary that it provided, I'm going to show you the summary here in a second. Based on the summary it provided, create a prompt for a thumbnail. Now, hopefully I get a chance to show you the thumbnail as well, but this is what it ended up doing. it says, okay, based on the video's theme about transforming reading inspiration into income, here's a potential thumbnail prompt. So now you start seeing already that we're taking bits and pieces of information that we've already recorded. We're going to bring the recording back in, and then we're going to take it apart some more and position it. Now, y'all know about the 3 Ps, right? If you're inside one of my communities, you better know about the 3 Ps. I talk about productizing things, I talk about presenting them, and then I talk about profiting from that. We position it so that we can profit from it. Now, y'all know, nothing's implied, guaranteed, or even promised, but let's look at the potential and let's look at the possibilities here. All right, so here it is. Did I just point at you? I'm sorry. So let's look at this. So based on the video's theme, here's a prompt. So I wanted to get a prompt so I can literally create a thumbnail. I'm going to put it on a variety of places. I'm going to put it on my social media channels, blam. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, blam, right? And now I've got that I can use that same thumbnail to then put it on some of my course offerings. That's how we're taking bits and pieces of information and stuff. What we were literally doing was reading and turn it into revenue for ourselves. Let's go a little bit deeper though. Are y'all with me? All right, here it is. So here's what it said. It gave me this prompt right here. It's going to create a dynamic digital illustration, blah, blah, blah. Now, they do a pretty good job. A lot of these GPTs do a pretty good job. DeepSeek is just on another level. We're not even going to talk about that today. But it does a pretty good job of giving you a good prompt. Now, you could have thought of that yourself, or you could have found something online or whatever. But these right here, live, boom, they give you a really, really good prompt. And you see what it's doing here. It's saying, okay, books, money transformation concept, professional yet engaging look. When I show you what it created for me, you'll get a chance to see how much time you're saving by not having to pay it out, by having a designer come in. You don't have to use Adobe, all these different things. We got some apps for that. We got some AI for that. All right. So I'll show you that here in a sec. But now, can you see what we're doing? Let me see if I can play this, see if it'll play for us, and if you can hear it. I don't know if I had turned it on or not, but here is the summary. So in this particular app, this does a summary for us, right? It says the video discusses how to transform inspiration from reading into income generating opportunities, emphasizing the importance of exploiting opportunities rather than merely solving problems. Now, I happen to talk about that in the video. Let me see. I'm playing a little bit. Inspiration that we read in. Hear that? If you can't, then I'm not going to play it too long. But I'm literally talking about, I'm going to show you, reading this book right here, getting some inspiration and getting after that, right? And it's by this guy down here, and it's something that Jeffrey. If I get a chance inside the courses, now what he did was, he took then I'll show you exactly what I created from it. It was multiple products just from management guru, turn it into a monetization opportunity. His stuff. Now y'all know I call myself the monetize your life. So I'm getting the inspiration that we might. You're always monetizing things. Well, I'm the monetize your life guy, and then turn it into income. All right. Anyway, so okay, you see what it's doing here. This particular app is now giving me a summary. I used to have to pay for this. I had a VA, and they were doing all this work and all this kind of stuff, and it just cost me a lot of money. Now I don't have to do that. I can do it really, really quick, or I can give this to my VA. And guess what? You can save time. You can save money. Maybe they give you a discount because they got your apps. Keep that one in your pocket. All right. So next, it then gives me some tags. It gives me all of this cool stuff, right? And the cool part about this, it giving me a video that I can now send out. It literally give you a link that you can send out. And now this was from a raw video that I uploaded into this particular app. It gave me all of this stuff that we are now going to be turning into revenue generating activities from reading. That's right. All right. So let me see. Let me go ahead and show you a couple of other things. I'm going to come off of this one right quick, go back over to the studio. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up another one, right? So we see this one right here. Let me see. Let me stop sharing this one. Then I'm going to share another one for us that we can see that allows us to now go a little bit deeper. Now, you remember that prompt that I was talking about that used to take us, all kinds of time and all kinds of energy and all that kind of stuff. We had to go over to Canva and do that kind of stuff. Well, I did still go over to Canva, but I'm going to show you what I did a little bit later. All right. So now look at this one. I'm going to show you another one. I'm going to show you what we were able to create from that. This particular app has just been, I'm telling you, everything for me. I absolutely love this app, man. It is so much fun. So once it pops up here, it'll show you some of the things that we did from the prompt. Okay, if your mouth is like, ajar right now, yeah, that part. It should be. Why? Because this is just saving us so much money. This thing cost me a couple of bucks a month, and it has replaced hundreds of dollars that I was spending to get thumbnails made. And it made it just like that. Now, let me show you a couple of iterations. It didn't look great at first, right? Because I didn't know it, some of the readings wrong or some of the words are wrong. So this one wasn't bad, right? I could probably use that in another application, another way, right? So look at this. Turn your reading into revenue. Okay, that's pretty cool. You see, I just put that same app in here, or I'm sorry, that same prompt in here, and it gave me this one, and it gave me this one. This is the one I went with because I wanted to put my image in this particular one, right? Now, the gold lettering, you can kind of complain about that, but whatever. But I'm gonna show you some other ones that it did. All right. So this one right here is like, okay, it missed the R, gave me two N's, and that's what AI will do sometimes. It'll kind of mess some stuff up. And this other one that I came up with, I says, okay, that's not too bad. Looks like somebody's got like a little Harry Potter thing going on or whatever. But the words were all messed up. Could I have taken that, now taken it over to Canva and fixed it up? Yeah, but I wanted to get as close as possible. Now look at that. I got 3 iterations that I can use. This one right here is it's got the words right, all of that I can literally use is showing that reading. It's going to turn into some it looks like Bitcoin, but whatever. It's going to turn into some opportunities. Okay, great. But then I end up going with that one because that's the one I literally wanted to keep so that I can put a little image here. And I'll show you that image here in a second. Hopefully it was able to go over there and show you this. But now, so far, we're able to save a whole bunch of time and money. We're going to save a whole bunch of time and money on something that we did a long time ago. We did the reading. Now we're doing the other parts. I want to show you the part. I don't just like to say, hey, here's the what, and never show you the how we did this stuff. Hopefully you'll appreciate that. Now, if you appreciate it a lot, like I talk about all the time, you can buy me some coffee. I don't know if y'all can see that behind me. It's like, buy me some coffee. I'll leave some information for you for that. Because this is stuff that you can literally take today and go out there, copy it, emulate it, be inspired by it, whatever you want to call it, and start creating for yourself. That's one of the key things. Now, the FTC doesn't let us tell you that you will earn money because, well, that's not always true. I can't guarantee you will. You might not do anything. You might go, hey, that's some good information, bro. Thank you. I'm going to sit here and drink this brew, whatever. But anyway, we still have this as an opportunity. I want to show you a couple of other ones because these become even more exciting when we start seeing what we do with this from the original. Now, remember, hopefully you jumped on at the beginning so you're able to see where the original parts of this came from. Now I'm showing you at this stage how we're now turning that reading time into things that then drive us into revenue opportunities. Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to probably show you I'll show you also the thing that I did in the Canva. So this gives you a little bit of an opportunity, right? Okay, so let's go over to Canva. Let's see that one. So here's Canva, all right? Now, Canva, if you've got Canva, you know that it's just like all kinds of cool stuff, right? And I build in here all the time. But you see what I did here? I was able to go, okay, great. I love that thumbnail, but let me put an image on here. That's my little image. Y'all know me, right? It looks just like me, doesn't it? So, except the glasses. So now you've got that. You've got an image that you can now, again, put on. It got a thumbnail with an image that you can put on all of these different channels. And depending on what channel you came in from or you're watching from, that image should have shown up. Okay, there's more. Next, what are we going to do to then start driving this one piece of information that we got from reading into income for ourselves? All right. I know y'all waiting for it, and I'm going to turn you on to it here in a second. But first, before we go any further, If you want to raise your hand and say, yep, I get it, I'm good, and you want to come in, and I'm showing you how you can do this at even higher levels, at scale. These are some of the things I usually reserve for my Patreon partner program or my Buy Me a Coffee community. I give them this information. I show them. They buy me a whole bunch of coffee, all that kind of stuff. I love drinking coffee, as you probably can tell. All right. So, all right. Now we've got this. Looks pretty good, right? We're going to put that on YouTube. We're going to put it in all these different places. Now, you saw the apps that I'm using, a couple of the apps we're using. And I'm not going to make this a long live. I just want you to be able to grab this stuff and see it and say, wait a minute, I can do this stuff. Why? Because it makes perfect sense to me how I can do this stuff. I'm going to show you one more way we're going to now turn that reading time into other stuff for ourselves. All right, here it is. Let me pop this up real quick for you. It's going to be which one here? I don't see it. My other program. Wait a minute, maybe down here. There it is. All right. Now again, this is live. I don't really like scripting things because that's kind of boring. Okay. So in this one, I'm going to show how we're now going to be taking this same one. Look at this. I took it over and we're going to be creating a course from it. Right? So I'm showing people how to turn inspiration into income. And I use that same video right here. All right, let me save changes real quick. I use that same video and now I'm literally creating a course from it. And that becomes the powerful thing about this, right? It's a course now that people come in, they buy it, and it's got all these different modules. And I'll show you that here in a second. How we're going to turn inspiration into income. That's one that I use, right? Got the book, Inspiration, Income, Ideas to Get You Started. This is the first, I think this is the first module that gets you started, starts talking about it. And then I go into it. I talk about some of the things that you can do to create digital products, how you're going to be inspired by the reading to start thinking, wait a minute, what can I create from this? This looks like an opportunity, or I'm going to be solving a problem. I give examples of some of the books that I create from just being, present and reading, and then from reading, turn it into writing. That's another tip. And then, of course, down here, you've got an opportunity to create links for yourself, and if you're in the affiliate marketing world like I am, this is a part of it, right? So we say, okay, cool, I got this. I'm going to link that. This is over at Amazon, or this is on my Gumroad page, or wherever it is. Now you have a chance to really get after it and put links into all your stuff so that people can get the opportunity to honor you with buying your stuff. All right. Are y'all with that? Now, I got to show you this last one. This one right here gets you the opportunity to really, really take it a lot deeper. Let me see where it is. There it is. See if I still have it up. Now, again, I'm using some apps. I'm using some AI stuff, and I'm using basically stuff that comes right out of your brain from inspiration, from writing. I'll give you an example. From what we're doing right now, you should be inspired like crazy. And you should be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, let me see what Randy was talking about here, or this Monetize Your Life guy. How can I use this information to monetize my life? How could I take these bits and pieces that he's talking about, pull out, scoop out a little bit? Don't try to boil the ocean. Right? I say you're not the sun, so you can't boil the ocean, but you take a scoop and you take a little subsection out and you go, okay, this right here aligns with what I love to do. This right here aligns with me, my side hustle, or if this you want to make this a full-time thing, this aligns with what I know I can do. Now I'm going to teach you the rest inside of one of the communities, whether you're in one of my membership communities, Buy Me a Coffee community, Patreons, a partner program, whatever it is. I get deeper into it. I even hold your hand a little bit. I don't like holding grown people's hands, but I will, because I want you to be able to see, here's a success from this. Tell me what you're inspired by, and let's now turn it into something that if we determine that the marketplace wants it, or if it's an opportunity out there in the marketplace, well, guess what? You can turn that into a good living for yourself. This is how we're going to turn the reading into revenue. This is how, in some of my other teachings, I talk about creating digital product in less than an 8 hour day. Right? That's another course that I put out just recently. So this right here, this app, I literally was talking about how I taught my 86-year-old mother-in-law how to create a digital product. 86 years old, right? We walked her through it. She's in the religious space, and it was awesome for her being able to see a finished product. I put this stuff on LinkedIn. I put this stuff on some inside of my communities, and it was like crazy. People were buying me tons and tons of coffee. Well, because I think they appreciated it. So hopefully, I got to make sure that we're actually seeing this. Yep. Okay, great. We are seeing this. So hopefully you're able to look at this and go, well, wait a minute, this ain't hard. I mean, there's some parts, right? And I help you put it together. It's like you got a blueprint, you look at it and go, oh, yeah, it makes sense. Then I go, well, start building. And you go, well, I don't quite know how to build it. Well, then I'll help you. And that becomes a part of the extra stuff that I love doing. This is my life work. I do it because I love to do it. And I ask oftentimes people to buy me coffee. I put these courses together. I try to keep them at $20. What is that? $20, $19.99. That's less than what, two people going to the movies over there at Phoenix Theater here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I just like, yeah. You go over there, you get the candy, you go over there and you get the popcorn, and you're going to poop out the popcorn, you're going to poop out the candy. But this course could change your life. This information could help you monetize your life. These things could help you teach it to somebody else. That's all I'm saying. You decide on what you want to do. All right. So this is another app that I do all kinds of cool stuff with. You see here, it gives me all kinds of monthly search volumes. Now that's one of the first things that I want everybody to do when they start thinking about, well, what can I monetize? One of the first things we do is say, well, you can monetize just about anything, but we got to make sure people are literally looking for it. Are they searching for this at a high enough level that makes it worth it for you to literally create something from it? And if you can speak to it, you don't even have to be an expert, but if you can speak to it because you spent a goo gob of time learning it, then you now can position yourself as the expert, because guess what? You spent all kinds of time learning about it, more so than somebody else. And if you do that, you then become more informed because they didn't read. You seeing how we're doing this? We're taking reading time and we're letting that reading time inform us, inspire us. And then we take that inspiration and that information and we create revenue from it. Are y'all seeing it? Are y'all with me on this? Okay. All right, good. This last thing, I wasn't sure if I was going to show you this because it was something that I was working on this morning in turning something else into a possibility. I don't know if you can see it, so I may not end up putting it over here. But it was about this phenomenon of creating, and I'm looking at it right now, but it probably won't show up because it's not a page. But it's this phenomenon people have been wanting to know how to create audiobooks. Right now, you see all the commercials, you see the dude throwing stuff on the fire and all that kind of stuff, right? But I've went to some of those programs and I noticed that they're selling all kinds of other stuff other than teaching you how to create these things and making sure you create them in a way that they can go on ACX. So I literally spent the weekend going through it. I used to use the program and I've got some audiobooks on ACX, which is owned by Amazon. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up going back through it and I said, well, I think I'm going to create a course on this. I'm going to create a course just true to form in less than 8 hours a day. That becomes critical. We want to get it done so that if life starts, throwing out its foot, trying to trip you, and life is just doing what it do, life is lifing, then you have that day to get it done. I would love to tell you that you can get it done in less than 8 hours a day because, well, I know you can, but it's going to take some concentration. It's going to take maybe me being right there with you to kind of walk you through it, right? A little pre-work, but I know you can get it done in less than 8 hours a day. I don't know why I'm whispering. Nobody's in here, but you can do it. The key becomes if you're going to concentrate, if you're going to do it. So, yeah, there's a little work involved, and that work typically is focus work. It is you saying, I'm going to do this. So, anyway, here's what I want to show you. And I want to go ahead and finish up with this. There's all kinds of ways that we can turn bits and pieces of information. Hopefully, I can see this one too. Yeah, I think I can. All right, bits and pieces of information. This is the last thing I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to jump off. So, this one right here is pretty simple. Oh, I don't have it up. Oh, yeah, it is. There it is. Now, this is the course that's upcoming. This is coming up pretty soon. And I got all the stuff. I got the outline, all that kind of stuff that is ready to go. So let's see if it pops up here for me really, really quickly. Again, this is live, so you're going to get some delay and all that kind of stuff. But look at this. All right, so I have, how to create an audiobook from Amazon. So I'm going to go through this fast. So I don't want y'all copying it. All right, so look at this. I got it all ready. I even got some things that I'm going to be sharing with you on the extras, right? Look at that. There's some things that I'm going to be showing you that's extra that you have to be careful of and that you have to be aware of and all that kind of stuff, right? I spent all kinds of time. And I used to use this particular app, and they've changed it, or I should say, but they've changed it. So there's some extra stuff that you got to be aware of. A lot of people are complaining about it because it used to be easy and now it's not. But this is what I'm going to be releasing pretty soon. Be on the lookout for that. It'll be coming out. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say in probably a week or so, because I've got some other things that I want to do for the rest of the week. I'm literally right now, everybody, I'm creating probably a product every 2 days. It's going to be a course. It's going to be a AI tool. It's going to be a couple of things that I think you'll enjoy. So I'll release those things as soon as I possibly can, because ultimately we want you out there monetizing your life. Plain and simple. If I'm going to call myself the monetize your life guy, I better prove it. And I'm going to be showing you how to monetize these various things that you love to do. If it's reading, okay, let's do that. If it's not reading, I'm telling you, you're missing out on a tremendous opportunity to create some really cool stuff. Let me give you a couple things here. I'm going to share a couple things that I think might help you. Let's go ahead and pop them up real quick. So, again, this is live, but it's live. I didn't send it out to my list. I just wanted to create it for you so that you can take a look. If you want to talk to me, let me show you. Here's a place where you can get more information, right? I'm going to put them all up here. So that's one of the places is you can go right over there to Get My Guides, www.getmyguides.com. And what I've done over there at getmyguides.com is once you put your email information in, you get to go over to some areas where I have all kinds of information for you. So that's one of the ways that you can start engaging with more of the stuff. Now, these aren't my actual communities, because I think that's $19 a month. Yeah, it's $19 a month for the communities. But I mean, you get so much stuff. And the cool part is that I work with you. Yeah, I do more of this. I do these videos and send it over to the community so you can have access to them. And you start looking at this information. I've already structured it. I've already put it together. And I've already put how, not just what. That's the key. How. This is how you're going to do this. This is how you can take this information. As you see here, I'm showing you the apps to use. I'm showing you the tips, the tricks. So that's one place. Now, if you want to buy me a coffee, you can go ahead and do that. We're going to put that up here too, because it becomes just an opportunity for me to do this, for the most part for free. Putting up these videos, it takes time. It takes time away from my lady. She in there. All right. But I took her on a cruise last week, so I might be good for 6 months. I'm just saying. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, ladies, don't get mad. But anyway, so that's another opportunity. You can buy me some coffee over there, right? You can get my guides. And I've got a lot of other places where you can see stuff. This one right here is my Gumroad account. grab this information, or if you want to rewind it and like it's VHS tape or something, you want to rewind it, look back and see this stuff, you can do that too. But for the most part, whatever it is you need to do to get into some of the communities, you can find them here. Actually, I think I left enough information where, like, if you bought me a coffee, for example, then then you have a chance to get a different kind of access to me, all that kind of stuff, right? All right, everybody. Hopefully, this has been that game changing thing for you, that life changing opportunity for you. And I say this from this perspective, that if you see, dude, if this guy can do it, if this guy in a room can make money, I can too. And hopefully you see this. Not special, not too much different, probably not taller, whatever it is, right? All this stuff becomes the opportunity for you to go, wait a minute, with a little instruction and a little direction. And if you need a little motivation, I got that for you too. If you got if you're lacking focus, if life is just jacking you up and it's like giving you the direction, and you've been reading all this stuff online and you're scared and all that kind of stuff, well, try monetizing your life. Try turning these kinds of things into income. Right now, I know you got books around your house. What I would like you to do, here's a challenge for you. I want, and I'll gladly take up this challenge. Here it is. So you go over to one of these accounts here, right? You go over to Buy Me a Coffee, or you go over to the Gumroad account, whatever it is, right? Go over there, check out some of the other stuff that I got going on over there, and then, or even to Get My Guys, because I think Get My Guys, you get a chance to, once you put your email in, you go over to another page that just like got all kind of fire stuff. Then here's the challenge. If everybody wants to take this challenge up, awesome, right? And if it's like 1,000 people, I'm in trouble. But if it's a couple hundred of you and you take a book, this is what I want you to do. Let's see, where are some of my books? Oh, here's one. All right, so this is what I want you to do. Y'all thought that was a fake background? No, it is not. So this book right here is Sell Your Book Like Wildfire. Okay. So what I want you to do is get on my email, send me a paragraph, a picture, not of the whole book, but just of a part that kind of resonates with you. And here is my deal with you. And like, again, if we have 1,000 people do this, it's going to be trouble because I'll be busy for a while. But take a snippet and then ask me, how could you monetize that? I'll take up that challenge. How could you now give me enough to work with? Like, for example, this one says, one of the most thrilling experiences that an author ever gets to enjoy is the opportunity to appear on radio or television. There's no bigger boost to the literary ego than telling others, I'm going to be interviewed on television. How can your friends top that? Okay. If you want to send me that snippet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now how we can turn that bit of reading into some potential revenue. Now that I'll promise you. Now, again, when we start talking about, revenue, the FTC says, hey, you shouldn't say this, that, and the third. Okay, fine. So I'm going to tell you my disclaimer, and nothing's implied, nothing's promised, nothing's guaranteed. But what I will tell you is, if you send me that little bit of a saying on my email and says, hey, bro, monetize your life guy, help me turn that into something, I'll do it for you. Everybody fair? Okay. All right. Hey, I'm going to jump off. And I wanted to share with you one last thing before we go. And that's this. If you look at this stuff and you go, you know what? I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. I'll show you. Oh, I don't believe it. There's no way. Whatever it is that's in your head right now, let me show you how you can do stuff like this. Right now, again, I've been doing this a long time. I've learned the apps. I've done the steps. I've made the mistakes. But once we get in and we focus on it for a period of time, I'm telling you, you can do it too. All right, that's your call to action, everybody. I'm going to jump off. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.